Hello everyone, very good morning. Good morning Sagar. Good morning Shweta, Kalpana, Gautam. Very good morning. Good morning Gopita. Okay friends, if we are all ready, I think we can start the session. Already we are ahead of 3 minutes. I think we have waited enough for others. So maybe we'll start the session. Okay. So like how many of you had a chance yesterday to see like what and all stuff we had, and so did you all try to work out the assignments? Okay friends, so yesterday I was talking to you about a document which was from Tableau Online. Okay, that's great Gautam and Kalpana. So are you comfortable doing the assignments? Were you able to get the solutions for everything? Okay, that's nice. So friends, I have shared you all a link now. Please try to open that link. So we will be using this and seeing like the real-time applications of each and every chart what we will be seeing in today's session. Okay. So it has a list of almost all charts what we are using. So out of the all charts what we are using here, you can have a look at that here, and we'll be seeing in detail how to make use of that in Tableau, and some for real-time applications we will verify it from here. So that is the idea of sharing this link with you all. Okay. So were you all able to open this, friends? Everyone? Okay. Okay, friends. So till yesterday we saw something about two of those charts. First chart what we saw yesterday was, what was the chart what we see yesterday, friends? The first. We were seeing the first thing as heat maps, correct? And what other chart did we see yesterday, friends, other than heat map? Circle plots, right? That's right, friends. Yes. Yeah, the other charts what we saw. Actually, my question was, so hope everyone who have joined late also got this document. The link what I have shared with everyone, I hope you all got the same as well. So this is what it is, and we will be using that for today's session to identify what are the charts and what are the options that we have. Okay. So you can just have a copy of this. Okay. So this is a chart what we had. So here, first let's search for heat maps. So heat maps are for what purpose, friends? This is the purpose. It's a great way to compare the data across the two categories using colors. The effect is to quickly see where the intersection of categories is strongest and weakest. So it's basically used in segmentation analysis. So segmentation analysis is based on a region. So if you are planning for a marketing campaign kind, so when you are going to a particular region and when you are doing a marketing campaign, that point of time, you should be able to know which is the strongest hold for our region, which is the weakest areas where our presence is not there, and these kind of information would be really helpful for us in knowing like where we are strong and where we aren't. So that point of time we can consider the heat maps. That's really useful. So the default map which comes in Tableau, which would be a map with the size variation. So that heat map what would come in Tableau by default, that can really help us to know like which is, for example, could reveal how many respondents in a sports activity prefer the frequency in which they attempt the events, these kind of things. We'll see some examples. So here is what the segmentation, what we did somewhat yesterday. So here they are having the age of people and what book they read. So highlighting the books and the age of the people and who are reading more of children's book. So it is mostly in this age group, either it is above 40 or if you see the thicker shades of square, it is mostly above 64. Above on the age of 64, people are reading more of children's book. So that's what this heat map is able to say. So, and this is one of the visualization what we have. And similarly, we can make use of this for other purpose also, just to see how the variation is, which is your stronghold, which is your weak area, and these things. Generally for a heat map, the default shape would be square, but however you can have a different shapes also. So is this clear, friends? Everyone? Okay. So this was the first one what we saw, and the next one what we saw was something called circle views. The second one what we saw was a circle plots or circle views. So this has a list for each and every chart, friends. Okay. So this is for our circle view, what it has. So we have the circle plots, the bubble charts, and other things. So here specifically we don't have something called circle chart. Instead we have this bubbles and this. So bubble chart is what they call them, but saw something yesterday on circle charts. something extra on where to use that and how to make use of that. Okay. So today we will try and analyze the other charts. So for now we'll not look into bubble charts, but we will see the bubble charts later. We saw about this dynamic grouping, the static grouping, these concepts. Okay. The next thing what we will be seeing is a scatter plot. First, let's see where this scatter plot is applied and how to make use of this scatter plot. Then we will come into Tableau first. Okay. Okay. So, where this scatter plot is used. So, what is the scatter plot first? So, scatter plot is nothing but, friends, for example, when you have some data. So, assume that you have some data like sales, and you wanted to compare your sales with that of the profit. Along with something very similar example what we took already, along with the segment. So these are some of the softwares what we see that this is like I'm selecting the profit over the sales along with the various segments. And I'm going to click on this scatter plot. So as and when I click on my scatter plot, there would be two axes here. One would be my sales and the other one would be my profit. And whatever item I selected, for example, I selected the segment. So based on my segment, it is basically providing me what is my sales and profit, where it is actually meeting that. So I wanted to go in detail about that, and so I just drop product ID in detail sheet. And you see now what has happened? More items which are there in that list, that alone got listed. So first I will make this highlighting enabled. I will enable the highlighter for this. This is for the consumer segment. This is how it is looking, and corporate segment, this is how it is looking, and this is how it's looking. So now what I'll do, I'll just do swap axis. Okay. So that the sales are this side and profits are this side, or anything I can just see, whichever is convenient. I prefer this view is better compared to that, because the zero axis is coming at here and other steps. So what you can do here is, friends, you can just right click here, and there is something called trend line. Can you see this? There is something called trend line. I can basically enable these trend lines there. So what I did, I just right clicked here and clicked on trend line, show trend line. Okay. So where these trend lines are going to be useful for us. These trend lines are nothing but, it is basically showing what is the trend of your data, what you are using there currently. How is your data trend looking, and how things are looking there. So in a corporate segment, if I'm just scrolling over here, there is something called p-value and r-squared value, with what I'm able to see there from this trend line. Okay. So before understanding what is this p-value and r-squared value, we will look into some basic concepts of statistics. And there is also an equation which has been generated there. Profit is equal to 0.19562 into sales plus minus 29.7322. Okay. So Gautam has a question: is the trend line based on linear regression? Yeah, it is basically a linear trend line, Gautam. That's right. So basically, friends, for others who are not aware about this concept, like we'll start with trend lines, something in detail there. So don't worry. If you don't understand some of those statistical terms, the linear trend lines and other things what we are saying, if you don't understand it, it's absolutely fine. Don't worry about that. Okay. So we will take this trend lines first, and first let's see what are the things that is there. So here, what this trend line is going to help us in doing the analysis. It is basically going to say how my profit will increase based on the sales, based on various segments. So based on various segments, how my profit and sales are associated. So this trend line is going to give me that equation there. Okay. So before seeing the trend lines, I'll show you the applications of this trend line. This is what a scatter plot is. Okay. So where this scatter plot is used, this scatter plot is used to dig little deeper into some data. So you do not know like what is the association between my profit and sales, but you have a gut feel that okay, there should be a relationship between the profit and sales. Okay, at that point of time, what I can do, I can plot a scatter plot and come up with the trend lines for the same. So generally, and data scientists who generally wanted to see the association between one attribute to another, or what they call it as correlation. So have you all heard the term called correlation, friends? Someone? Okay. Does someone know what correlation means? Okay. That's right, friends. It is the relationship between two variables that we call them as correlation. That's right, Kalpana, Gautam. And Balaji has a question: why we are using product ID in level of detail? Jayashree is saying it is connection between two or more objects. Okay. So here, why we are using product ID? The general thing is we can use any one, Balaji. So I chose here the product ID. The reason is it has basically various categories of items that are available. So I can also drop the product name, which will also give me a very similar visualization. So it is nothing but just to see the many items, so how many items are there within that. So how the trend is looking. Either I can use product ID or product name or anything. So there is no specific reason for that. I just chose it as it is. You can either choose product name or product ID. It's based on like what value you wanted to see there. So here I'm saying it is staples and other things are coming in tooltip. So whenever I'm adding some value in this detail, that value appears in tooltip. So whenever I'm not adding certain values, that values doesn't appear here. So the main reason is that one only. So other than that, no specific purpose of adding product ID. See here basically I wanted to see in detail about a particular product. So what is the I'm going to evaluate the relationship between my sales and profit for my product. So basically for your product the sale has happened. Excuse me. So for product the sale has happened. So you have to choose something from product. So either it can be whatever field which is convenient for you. If you can identify those items by product ID, that is well and good. It's basically based on your requirement how it comes. So if your user is asking for product IDs, you can basically use that. Or if he is comfortable seeing it with the product names, you can just see that. So for now I have used product name. Or if you would like to have both product ID and product name, you can have both the things appears. Okay, it's just our own choice here. So nothing in specific why we are choosing it, because there is another requirement what we have. Okay. Okay. So friends, first seeing on what is correlation here. So correlation is nothing but how one variable is related with another variable. So what percentage of significance we call them here, significance, which means basically like the level of association. Level of association, or we can call them as related, how one variable is related with one another. So that we call them as level of association or relations between one variable to another. So this we call them as correlation friends. Okay. So a correlation can be anything there. So maybe here for this example we are going to take a correlation between our profit and sales. Similarly, correlation can be for any of the things. There may be correlation or there may not be a correlation. So some real-time examples we can take. So the time you wake up and the time you sleep the previous night. We can say that the early you sleep, the early you can get up easily. If you are sleeping late, you can get up, but it would be somewhat difficult for you. So basically, your what we can associate is how healthy and energetic you are the whole day depends on how much hours of sleep you had. So something like this, if I am having my energy levels measured, I can basically perform a correlation analysis in this. Similarly, statisticians do it for various variables. So this one variable, the energy level, and the other one would be the previous night's sleep hours. So based on that, they would be conducting the surveys, they will be taking the samples, and they will be performing. This is how generally clinical research or any other things that happen on day-to-day basis, this is how it works. Okay. So this is what it is, friends, and hope this example is clear for you. So this we call them as correlation. Oh, sorry friends, I think I was on mute by mistake. Yeah. So hope you all are able to hear me. So Balaji, you got it by yourself? Okay. So in detail sheet, whatever we are dropping it, friends, that will basically have a plotted thing also, and also it will show it in tooltip. So that is the advantage of putting something in detail. So what for which product or which item or which dimension you would like to have more details about. So that's what you have this added in detail sheet. Okay. So what is up with the top bubble value? Why this is coming separately? Okay. So the top bubble value, what we are seeing here over here is, this is like an outlier, what we call them as. So outliers are something which is not within the permitted range. So something which is going out of box, like an odd one out, what we can call. So these things we call them as outliers, Salim. So these are the boxes. Similarly, outliers may be present in each and everything. So in general analysis, we need to find out a methodology to remove the outliers so that we are able to work with the remaining data, because outliers can cause many problems for your sample, and also it can deviate your result, deviation or skew your result. So in order to generally we avoid the outliers, so these graphs helps us in determining the outliers as well. So that's why some of the values are plotted for distance. It's basically it is saying these are outliers. Okay. So you are all able to see only one trend lines, and I'm getting 3. Okay. So that's not a big deal, friends. You can just right click here, click on the trend line. So Salim, you got your answer for the question? So these are basically called outliers. Okay. Okay, friends. So now, so why you are all getting one trend lines and others are getting more? Okay. So if you just go to edit option, friends, can you see this? Just click on this trend line. Okay. Click here. Click this trend line. Right click and click on edit trend line. So after you click on this edit trend line, the model of a trend line comes. The first one is going to be a linear model. Second one is going to be an logarithmic exponential polynomial, like that. So I'll tell you the differences and when to use which trend line, because we are covering trend lines separately in our advanced visualization. However, for now we will be using the linear trend line. Okay, so I will be using something called linear trend lines, but we will see the other advanced concepts also on the trend line sometime in some time. So here for you all, it should be checked, allow a trend line per color, show confidence band and these things. So I'm just going to uncheck this show confidence band. You all, I think for you all it is removed as well. So now if you see, I just get only one. So the 3 lines what I'm getting are my confidence band. So I can just right click that and click on edit to remove the same. So if you all do the same, your 3 trend lines will be converted as single one. Okay. So how to get a trend line? Someone, Kalpana wants to know. So I'm just removing the trend line first, and I'm just going to add a trend line. I'm right clicking here, trend line, show trend line. So now when I'm doing this option, automatically for each and every shape, a trend line will be available. Only a single trend line will be available. So what are confidence bands? So I told you something about called significance here, or how strong the relationship. How strong the relationship is. How strong the relationship is between the 2 variables, that we generally call them by this confidence band. So I can say like I'm 95% confident that this data would work this, and there is a 5% chances that this might be this might have some errors. Or I can say I'm 99% confident that this data will be the right analysis, and 1% it is by chance. So this confidence bands are basically this part. So how much confidence that you had with this data, what is the possibility that the data might be deviated or it may not be accurate. So that we generally call them as confidence bands. Okay, so for now we will just see the trend line alone, and there is a trend equation that we are deriving out here. So here basically a normal linear equation, that's what we would be considering here. So for a linear equation, friends, the general formula for a normal linear equation is going to be y is equal to ax plus b. So friends, if you all have read about the statistics and things, generally you must have seen this formula. If you know that, or else I will just show that to you. Y equal to mx plus c. So what is this y equal to mx plus c? So here m is going to be the slope of the line. C, which is going to be the y-intercept of the line. Okay. So here, what is that we are doing basically? So here, what are we doing? So what is this? M is going to be the slope of this line. So that is like, this has calculated my slope by a formula there. Okay. So my slope of my line is equal to mx plus c. Okay, so this is my x-axis. This is my x-axis. So what is the value that I'm getting for profit and sales? This is basically taking my value, whatever I get it on top of my profit and sales. So at this point, at this juncture, I would say like it can calculate my profit will be the equation for calculating my profit is, this would be my equation. What is the equation? 0.153418 multiplied by sales plus minus 25.2789. I told you this C is going to be y-intercept of the line. So what is this y-intercept? So this is my x-axis. This is my y-axis. Okay. So this y-intercept is saying if you are extending this line further, this slope line further, so at minus 25 point, the value what it is showing, at minus 25.2789, we will be able to meet the y-axis. So at what point of time exactly, like, so there is this point which is available. So it is basically taking the average out of all the items, and it is taking, considering the consumer segment, and it is giving me an equation. Basically, this is the equation where you can apply and calculate the profit given sales. So for example, what I will do is I will just take an example. So I want to calculate my profit, friends. So there I know my sales is something like 14,489. Okay. So assume that my sales is 14,489. This is my sales. What I need to determine, I need to determine my profit given sales. Okay. I need to get my profit. How I can know my profit before I do something? So assume that this is the value what I need to calculate. So what I will do, I will be applying this particular formula in this particular equation. Okay. So here what I will do, I have got a slope line which is saying like 0.15 into sales. For now I'm just rounding it. My profit is equal to 0.15 into my sales. So what is my sales here? What is my sales, friend? Can anyone tell me what is my sales that I'm going to take compute here? 14,489. That's right. Okay, just wanted to check if everyone are with me, because this is going to be somewhat dry topic, friends. So just do not want to make you get lost into that. So 14,489. Okay, plus what is my slope, which is going to be minus 25.2789. So what is going to be my y-intercept? Minus 26, I am assuming this. Okay, minus 25, right? So minus 25 would be my slope here. Okay, so now I'm going to take a calculator and I'm going to say, so this is going to be 0.15 into 14,489, which is 2173.5 minus 26. So my profit is going to be 2147, friends. So when I'm doing a sale for this amount, my profit is going to be 2179, something in this range. Similarly, you can apply this. This is going to be a common formula for consumer segment. So what is the negative value Kanya is asking? Kanya, nothing but the negative value is this line is currently meeting at this point, right? So if you just extend this line further, this will be meeting the x-axis. This will be meeting the sales at one point. So at which point this will be meeting the sales? This will be meeting the sales at minus 29 point thus. So this is 10, and basically it will be meeting it at minus 25.6, somewhere here. Somewhere here it will be meeting. The profit and sales axis would be meeting. So that is that negative one. Minus 25.27 is where this particular line meets the sales. So if you are extending that line, where it will be met. So this is the general equation. Okay. So we will be able to, first we will be able to compute the profit based on this. So this is going to be the sales and this is going to be the profit, what you will be gaining it. So based on this value, you can determine that, okay, so this is going to be my profit, so I can vary my discount accordingly. Can I go for, yeah, sorry Manikantan, where minus 25.5 meets the y-axis, not the x-axis. Where the line will meet the y-axis. Correct. Okay. So this would be the item that we would be getting there. So before confirming that this equation is fine, friends. So this is the equation what we have got. But before confirming that this equation is fine, we need to understand the concept of p-value and r-squared value. Yes, Salim. I'm just going to explain to everyone what this p-value and r-squared values are. So in this trend line, friends, this p-value and r-squared value, it is going to be like, can you see here, it's 0.26 r-squared. P-value is less than 0.0001. Okay. So this, first let's see this p-value. P-value is basically going to tell me how significant my results are. Yeah, you will be getting a different formula based on your data, friends. If you are having the same data, you would be getting the same trend line, or you will be getting different data if it is your data source is somewhat different or slightly the variations are there. Please don't worry, you should not that you are getting the same formula or not, same values or not. It is the concept that we focus more here. Okay. Okay. So here the p-value is going to be number of times it is the result is significant. So p-value is basically going to tell me if the results are significant. So what it means, if there is actually a relationship between my profit and sales, is there is a relationship between my profit and sales. So the results are significant enough to say that there is a relationship between my profit and sales. So that is basically determined by my p-value. So how strong the relationship, how significant this relationship is. Okay. So significant is generally, if the p-value has to be generally the p-value has to be less than 0.05. Always. The p-value has to be less than 0.05. So if my p-value is less than 0.05, I can say there is a strong relationship. Strong relationship or significant relationship. So my relationship between my p-value and r squared value is significant. If my p-value is larger, so if my p-value is between large, that is between 0 and 1, that is between 0 to 1, if my p-value is ranging, then I can say the data in this is by chance. So it may be by chance. So this data in this is maybe by chance, but actually may not be that this is going to be the same. So my p-value and r squared values are going to determine and tell me whether there is a significant relationship or there is a weak relationship. So how is my p-value looking for this data, friends? So what is the p-value for this particular equation? It is less than 0.0001. That is the value what we are able to see here. Exactly. So here, so according to the generalized equation, whenever a p-value is less than 0.05 itself, this is a strong relationship, and that's what we are able to see that here. My p-value is this much. So there is a strong relationship between my profit and sales, okay? And not only my p-value alone is enough, friends. I need to check one more value called r squared value. So this r squared value is going to be something like this r squared value is something like which is going to tell me how effectively the model fits the data. Model in the sense how this linear model fits the data. So how this linear model fits the data, that is basically determined by this r squared value. Okay. So what are we seeing here? So how the model fits the data? So I told you, I think Gautam was asking, is this a linear model or something? When you just click on this trend line, friends, you just click here and click on edit the trend line. Click on edit. There is something called model type which comes. One is the linear model, logarithmic, exponential. We'll see about these models in our advanced concepts, but for now, how this linear model is fitting this data, that is determined by this particular r squared value. Okay. So how this linear model fits the data? That is being told by this R squared value. Generally, in general range, this R squared value has to be within a range of 0 to 1. So if my R squared value is within the range of 0 and 1, okay, then I can say this model, this model is better. So if it is between the range of 0 to 1, the model is better. If it is closer to 1, like like 0.9, this is best. This is the best model, we can say. If it is very close to 1, like 0.99 or 1, then there is something wrong in the model. So these values are basically used for that purpose, friends. Yeah, 0.9 like that. This model is best. So here we are getting something like 0.25. We cannot say this model is worse than. It is okay. This model is somewhat appropriate. Maybe we can try out with other models by editing the trend lines and checking out for other models also. Maybe the logarithmic models or other models of linear trend lines. We can just see how those models are looking like. So in these models, maybe can you see now it is like 0.05. This is not totally fitting us out. So linear, whichever model which comes to closer to R squared value, we'll be choosing that particular model. So something is like exponential model. Let's see what is the R squared. R squared is also not that high in this model, and this is basically an polynomial model. So polynomial may not be that suitable. I'm just showing you the various models here. So I think the linear model is itself sufficient here. So that is the model what we can use for now for this particular two things. Yeah, somewhat better we can say. It is not the best, but it's somewhat better. So this is what a trend line can tell us, friends. It has so many hidden information which statisticians have to calculate by themselves manually. They have to do manual preparations and things, and finally determine that there is a relationship between your two variables or not. So that's how in general statistics or data scientists generally they evaluate the things. So any questions here, friends? So this is the concept of this trend line. Now we will see the real-time application where and all this is being used. So this is for a scatter plot, friends, and trend line. Yeah. We can go for a break, friends, for 5 minutes, and we shall come back again and see the real-time application. In the meantime, if you have any questions, you can feel free to keep me posted. Yeah, Manikandan, I'm available. Please tell. Yeah, Manikandan, you had some questions for me? Okay. No, I was on mute since we were on break. Do not want you all to disturb with some background noises which might come from my side. So I was on mute. Okay friends, if we are all back, shall we start? Hope you all understood the concept of a scatter plot, how it is looking and what things are going on. It's slightly more oriented towards statistics friends, but we will be knowing that better once we start seeing about where exactly scatter plots are used. Okay. So scatter plots, if you see the real-time applications, looking to dig little bit deeper into some data, but not quite sure how to do that. You have some different pieces of information to relate. So you know there might be a relationship between your profit and sales, but you do not know how to derive out that information. So in that point of time, we can make use of something called scatter plots. So that is an effective way to give you a trend, concentrations, outliers that will direct you where you want your focus, the investigation efforts further. So this is saying you concentrate on these items alone more. So something which is going outside your range are outliers. You don't worry about these items. You concentrate on these data alone and try determining your model. That's what it is saying. Okay. So when to use scatter plots? Scatter plots to be used when investigating the relationship between different variables. Examples: male versus female likelihood of having a lung cancer at different ages across the technology. And also consider a trend line best fit. By adding a trend line, a correlation among your data becomes more clearly defined. So when using a scatter plot alone, you cannot determine it. You need to use something called trend lines, which can help you to do that further. So trend lines are something which is going to help you out and finding out how better or best fit your model is. And also you can drill down into different views quickly by adding some filters, and story behind the data can be enhanced with the relevant shapes. You can use some relevant shapes and make use of the data in a better way. So these are some of the application areas of scatter plots. Let's see some examples. So this is basically a logarithmic exponential or logarithmic scale what they have used. So this is basically these scatter plots are also used for doing fraud analytics. So fraud analytics in the sense, if I'm going to do a credit card transaction, so how many of these transactions are in a possibility that they can be a fraud? So how many of these transactions are likelihood of having that it is going to be a fraud there? So this is like a customer story of Allstate Insurance. You must have heard about Allstate Insurance. So they are basically using this Tableau, scatter plots and things for determining and the outliers from the data. So Allstate Insurance use Tableau discovered out of pattern trends. They are then shared with their investigation and attorneys and laws. Based on that, they are taking some very critical decisions. Some decisions are being taken. So, no friends, I was just allowing you all to read out this. So this is what this Allstate Insurance is basically doing there. So they are basically taking out this things, and they are behaviors of visual fraud analytics. Can you see this? So I'm just opening out this particular visualization for you. So here Tableau lets you point near to data source, immediately start visualizing the world there. And if you see across all demographics, how the data are getting spread out across all demographics, and what is the spread here? We'll just see this visualization here. So for example, here they have filters are being used, like the region specific, like Middle East and others. And based on the age group they are doing, based on the age group they are saying this, and there are two age groups. There are two age groups, male and female here, and they are saying like how many of them are basically involved in a fraudulent transactions, which age group is doing that more. And here if you see the total claim that is made and the average amount what they have paid. So, so this is the total claim that they have made, and average total claim is 171, average total paid is 115. So this is across all locations. So this can be made use. This is basically a trend line what we see it here. Can you see here? Average total paid versus the total claim that they are getting, and there is an equation which is coming. See the R squared value, see the P value. This is a perfect model what they have put there. Maybe we can download this visualization for a later. You can download it as Tableau workbook, and let's understand this data further, friends. Okay, so we'll download it. I'm sharing you all this link. You also have a look. We will analyze this separately when we are doing it for scatter plot. Yeah, friends. So you will not be able to open these visualizations in Tableau Public. You should be able to see the visualizations only in Tableau Desktop there. So public cannot open these visualizations. So once you activate your desktop license, you can make use of this. Okay. So this is what we are seeing here. This is like loss code for Georgia, employer cost ratio, so how much it is, and they are actually using this data for loss code is suit. So the orange ones are for the suits, and the normal ones, I think it is for the clients there, the blue ones. So that's what they are doing there. So maybe we'll have a look at this data somewhat later. So this is some of the real-time applications of things. So here they are saying, lets you point to nearly any data source immediately, start visualizing. In the world of fraud detection, Tableau makes easy spot suspicious behavior. Once you identify a potential issue, You can share the data with the investigators in the field. Equipped with that right data, they can pick up the threat of suspicious behavior and quickly resolve it. So in the root cause analysis, or also in finding out what are the transactions and things that are not going the right way, Tableau is helping us, friends, the scatter plots and things. So this was some of the application of that, and 20 to 29 in South Atlantic. So number of incidents 725, average paid is 120. So this is like total average paid is 1529. So this is what it is determining. These are some of the outliers for the data and things like that. Okay. So this is where like we make use of something like this, friends, and this is some of the real-time applications where we would be using it. Demographics and premium forecasting. So who is the most expensive to insure? So what is the business question that we are answering it here? Who is the most expensive to insure here? Using this smart, we will be able to know, like, is this a male or a female? Who is most expensive to insure? So based on that, they determine the insurance levels there. And so spot the outliers that might warrant future investigation. So here these outliers are something like which are not within this average range, friends. There are some items which we are able to see it over here. Can you see that? I think Gautam asked me why this is an outlier or thing, because they are like not normal transactions, something at a really high scale, very high scale transactions. So this is what being used by our income tax department also, friends. Something they take all data, and if some data which is having really high value transactions, they ask you so many questions. Nowadays, when you go to bank, they ask you so many questions, like if you are depositing 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees, they are asking what is the source of your income, from where did you get this, so why you are having it as cash. So many questions they are asking you. So because even a transaction for 50,000, 1 lakh is considered a high value here, the main purpose is it can be a fraudulent transaction, it can be a terrorist funding thing. So to determine these things, we make use of this scatter plots. Okay, I think we have spent quite some time in this scatter plots itself, but maybe this would be useful for us at the later stage. It is just a one slider here. It's not that detailed here. So by seeing this, you may or may not refer to the things. So scatter plots are made by placing different measures. See how much one variable is affected by another variable. So is this clear, friends, the scatter plot? Any questions? Okay. So we are done with the scatter plots, friends. The next thing what we would be seeing is something called tree maps. So the tree maps are nothing but whenever you are having hierarchical measures and hierarchical dimensions, whenever you are having hierarchies within your data, within your dimensions, whenever you are making use of hierarchies. So this particular thing called tree maps are going to be really useful for us. So tree maps, that is the name which is derived out from. Are you not able to hear me, friends? Salim, it's looking like others can hear me. Can you please check your audio? No, Kanya, drill down, yeah. We use the items what we make use in drill downs in tree maps. So whenever you are using some items which are going to be used in drill down, you can make use of tree maps for visually representing that. That will really help you out. So that is the main purpose of having this tree maps. Okay, Sagar can hear me. Salim, it's like looking like your audio, there is an issue. Please reconnect the session. You should be fine. Okay. Okay, friends. So now coming to the tree maps, I told you tree maps are really useful when you are having hierarchical items. Like for example, this category, subcategory, and whenever you wanted to drill down the data further and see how the data is looking and how things are. So you have this category item, subcategory item, category, subcategory, hierarchy. So I'm just clicking this and I'm adding my product name or product ID also in this list. So now what I'm doing, I'm just going to say what are the measures that I need here. I'm saying I need this hierarchy, I need my sales, okay, and I need my segments. 3 items I need. I'm just going to this show me option. Nothing is getting highlighted for me now. So for now what I'll do, I'll just take this category, subcategory hierarchy. I'll just drag and drop it in some rows or columns. And I'll take my sales, drop it here on my rows or columns. Automatically, if you see my other maps, what is relevant for this data would get enabled. I'm choosing here the tree maps. So as soon as I put something in a tree maps, friends, you should observe that in columns and rows, whatever items I have dropped, that gets changed here to text, textual value. My hierarchical items, whatever I showed here, the category, the subcategory, the things, that came into text. My sum of sales has come in color and as well as in size. So the size of this box determines my sales volume, and my color of this box also says it is going to be based on various categories what we see over here. So maybe what I'm saying, instead of color putting the sales, I would prefer putting it by my segment. So I'm just taking my segment and dropping it in my colors. So based on my segment based on my category, I will be basically having this. So instead of segment, let me see if there is something else which can be related. So it's going to be my category, subcategory. So once I'm dropping my category out there, I can just take it in colors and drop it there. Yeah. Now this is looking fine. So I have my category, subcategory items in colors, and I have showing it by my sales volume. Okay. Now, why I told tree maps are better for visualizing the hierarchical data is for this purpose. You can just see that the plus symbol is available. You can just click here. Can you see now, based on your category, the subcategory level, the items got split, and the sales volume is listed here. I can enable the text here to show that I can just take the sales, drop it in my details so that I can see the numbers, what my sales volume has there. So text or maybe on the label. Yeah, label is appropriate. So I'm just doing it in my label. So I'll be able to see the sales volume. Again, I want one more level here. So now you see, this is the further level at the product level. So each and everything is a product here, and product name is Samsung Galaxy phones and these. So this is going to give me a level at a very last level. Everything is getting split among these three categories. And among these three categories, how things are looking. So in a single view, I'll be able to see many other things, friends. So this tree maps, that's why it is really useful for us. Okay. Okay, friends. So this is what it is about this tree map. Now let's see some real-time applications where these tree maps are used. So tree maps are something. Okay. This is the purpose of a tree map, friends. Looking to see your data at a glance and discover how the different pieces related to a whole. Then tree maps are for you. So it is basically a series of rectangles nested with one another to show the hierarchical data as a proportion of a whole. So related to a tree-like structure. So wherein you can see each and everything is getting split into smaller categories and subcategories and items in the group. When to use tree map? Showing hierarchical data as a proportion of whole. Example, storage usage across computer machines, managing the numbers and priority of technical support cases, comparing fiscal budgets between years. So coloring the rectangles by a category from different, how they are hierarchically structured. Different from how they are hierarchically structured. Combine tree maps with bar charts, like gives you a different dimensions there. Tree maps and bar charts. So this is something what they have used. They are basically taking the tickets priority from. This is basically on a support environment. How many tickets are coming? They are basically classifying it based on the colors and how that values are looking like. So support cases, how they are looking like. World GDP throughout the time. So here each and everything determines the GDP of the world, how that is going on. And so from 2001, US GDP was dominating the world. And then Asia's contribution was something very less. And now when we are seeing an almost like 2010 and 2016, now Asia's economy is outbeating near to that of the GDP. So it is so much closer. I'm not saying it's outbeating, but GDP of US is somewhat higher, whereas India has just now reached 1 trillion economy, I believe. So it is like more. So as you see that it is able to determine and give us more details, in-depth information. You got it, friends, where to use tree maps. So because of the visual, tree maps is ideal for legibly showing hundreds or even thousands of items in a single visualization simultaneously. So that's what we saw it somewhere, sometime before. So with this example, we are done with our module 3, friends, of this visual analytics. Okay, we are done with this module 3. You can let me know for any questions in this module. Okay, so as we are done with this module 3 with this, so in this module we will be starting with something more than that. So this module is slightly a heavy module, but we'll see how we can wrap on with this. So here, these are the things that we are going to see here, friends. So in this module, already we are done with this trend line. I have shown you this trend line now. So as a part of this previous module itself, we have covered this trend line. However, we'll see some more trend lines here. And we have seen already parameters, how to create that and these things. Or we'll see like how things are looking there further. And other than that, we are going to use two other important concepts called forecasting here. So forecasting and clustering, we are going to make use of that. So basically this forecasting and clustering is very much useful. I'll tell you more details about this forecasting, the clustering part, where to use it and how to make use of this. So before moving on with that, we will see something called sets here. Okay, we'll see an example for a set. So what is a normal set? So set is nothing but it's going to be a collection of distinct objects. So these are going to be a collection of distinct objects put together. Basically they might have similarity, they might have something. So a set of distinct objects that are put together. Okay, so in a real-time example we can say that it is going to be a library, books in a library. So in a library you might have various books, volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, like that. So all these volumes put together we call them as a single set, right? So set is something going to be like collection of related objects. That is what a set is. Okay, so so assume that this is one set and this is the other set, friend. So here A intersection B is something like what is going to be common between this set. So what are the shapes that are common between set A and set B, friends? So what shapes are common? So this is a pentagon and this is heart, circle, triangle. Yes, it is the heart and pentagon as told by Lopita. It is heart and pentagon. So we see that heart and pentagon are common between that. So A intersection B means the common items. Okay, this you keep in mind. And what is A union B? So all items in set A plus all items in set B. So here we have circle. So in A union B we have circle. Here you have heart and here you have heart. So two hearts are there. So we'll consider one. And similarly two pentagons are there, so we'll consider one. And one triangle is there, so there is one triangle. One star is there, so one star. So A union B is going to be like combination. So combining the items which is there in both the sets and putting it together. So that we call them as A union B. Are you getting this example, friends, everyone? Is this clear for everyone? Please let me know if someone is not getting this, because we are going to make use of these two in our sets in a real time. That is in Tableau we are going to make use of this. Okay, friends, so now we are done with knowing the concept of sets. Yeah, Father, I can just repeat it once again. So the sets is something but nothing but, so sets is basically a collection of some items. Okay. So whatever items which are common between this set A and set B, that we call them as A intersection B. So a combination of items between set A and set B, we call them as A union B. So that is what the set means. So sets are basically that part, friends. So which is going to be a combination of A and B. A union B. Okay. So now moving on. So normally in Tableau, when a set is created, it generally has this set icon. So the set icon is something like this. This is how the set icon looks. So whenever you are bringing the sets from multi-dimensional data sources, then you have a different symbol. So so something with set with an action will have this symbol. So set with a filter display set will have something like this. So here are some of the icons what we use, but not really. You can just have a look at these icons and we will understand why we require sets. Okay, so let's create a visualizations for average discount generated monthly with detailed market content and market region, and categorize it with order priority and some of shipping costs. So this was something like okay, I'll take a simpler example also, or maybe okay, friends. So now I think yesterday or when did we? Yeah, not yesterday. So we will take some examples here, friends, for the sets. So for a set, what I can say is, so they have taken order dates and average shipping cost. So I'm not sure if you have an average shipping cost here. Shipping cost field, okay, it's not there. So these are like categories and segments. Various segments are there, and let me take various segments along with the various subcategories. Okay, one more thing is, friends, once you create a hierarchy, you cannot use that field anymore, so you might have to remove the hierarchy and use that field again. So I need a subcategory. I'm taking my subcategory across the segments, and I would like to see my profits, and maybe I just wanted to make this in this column wise, and I would like to see it over year. So I'm taking this order date and I'll just drop it here. I'll make it as instead of this, I'll make it as discrete values, and from show me I'm going to select something called bubble charts. Okay, perfect. Now I got this visualization across every category. I'm just getting something like this. Okay, so here assume that I just got this visualization for now. That is for just to generate more number of data. I just wanted a similar visualization like this. So in year over year, they are taking it by month. Let's take the same. So year and month. So this sum of profit is going to be by my subcategory items. Year over year, and it's going to be month. Yeah, the previous thing was better. Okay, so this was better. So I prefer choosing this alone, friends. So for now, let's have this alone. Okay. So now, as per the segment, we are having various category items that are selected here. So now what we will do is we are going to create a set out of this data. Okay. So here, friends, for example, I'm going to select a group of items from this. which are basically having more number of discounts. They have selected those items. So I'm going to select the items which are having more profit. So maybe like I have a profit threshold of 5,000K. So I'm selecting all items which are above this 5K mark. Can you see this? I'm just scrolling towards my right and I'm selecting all those items which are this above 5K mark profit. I'll show that to you once again, friends. I just click on my, I just click here, press my mouse click there. I just select the items which are above this 5K mark. So I'm selecting all items which are above this 5K, and you can just see that how I'm doing the selection. I'm just clicking here from which place I want until where I wanted. I'm going to select all those items which are nearing 5K and just above 5K. So till here, I have selected all these items, friends. Something very similar to groupings, what we are doing. So I'm just doing something very similar to that. But however, instead of grouping here, so for grouping I will be clicking on this icon. However, for sets, I need to click on this icon there, the set icon. Can you see this? So I'm going to create a set. Click here and create a set. So whatever items I have selected, those items are listed out here. From year 2013 and 14, year of order date 2013 to 2014, I'm able to 2012, 13 and 14. I'm selecting all those items. You got it, friends? So I'm going to create a set here. I'm going to have a name in this set. So this set is different from grouping, friends. I'll show you how that is. I know you all have a question now, what is the difference between set and groups? You will see that as I show you the example. Okay. So I'm saying high profit set. So this is like highly profitable set, what we see. And I'm going to click on OK here. So as soon as I click on this, can you see what has happened? There is something called sets which got created, and the set is basically showing me those items there. So the sets are something different, so you get a separate pane here for sets. So for highly profitable items, you are seeing them separately. And when I'm trying to drag and drop this set, are you able to see there is something called in/out, highly profitable? I'm taking this set, friends, and I'm dropping it in my filters pane. And now what has happened? So yesterday when I was talking about groupings, someone asked me, can I drill down these items, what I have selected alone, and see what those items are? I think it was you, Gautam, who asked me that. Gautam or someone, I don't remember exactly the name. So sets are something which, yes, I think it's Gautam. Okay. So yeah, sets are something. Can you see here? As soon as I drag and drop, it is just listing me the items which are close to this above 5K alone. Among all these three categories, it is listing those items what I have selected alone, friends. And it's not showing me the other items there. And inside the set, there is something called show in and out of set. So this is outside the set. So when I'm clicking on this outside the set, it is showing me all the items which are less than 4K. When I'm saying it is you show in and out of the set, so here this is what show members in the set. So these are the members what I have selected, and these are the items that are within that set. So can you see now it is basically showing the items which are within that set alone. In means which is within that set, out means which is outside that set. So now I will show the items which are inside the set, that are these high profitable items what I selected alone. So if you want to do some analysis with these items alone, you can do that like this. So sets are something more advanced than groups. And set always comes with in and out, friends. So if you just right click this filter what I'm adding, you can just show the filters there. Can you see here it is showing in and out, and it basically can drag and drop between this in and out. So these are the items that are outside the set, these are the items that are inside the set, these are the items which are totally like one another. So sets are nothing but another form of filtering, friends. Okay. Are you all getting me, friends, for sets? So this is like visually how to create those sets and take it. Okay. So now I'm going to give you some practical scenarios where to apply these sets and see them. Okay. Let's see now. So these are the sets what we saw. Okay. These are the visual sets what we saw. So as and when we create the set, these items got selected and we are able to see all those items there. Oh, okay. I'm sorry friends, the screen got closed by mistake. Friends, you all can hear me, right? Okay. Sorry, some installation is going at the background, so I think for a moment, like I won't be able to open you the visual there. So for now, what I will do is I'll tell you what sets are about. So sets are nothing but they are custom fields like groups. So what are sets? Sets are something like custom fields like groups. Okay. So but are more powerful than groups. Like groups, but they are more powerful than groups. They are more powerful than groups, and mostly the sets are created on one or more dimensions. sets are created on one or more dimensions, friends. Okay, so that is one thing to note. So, and one more thing to note is all sets can work as advanced filters. All sets can work as advanced filters. Okay. So now what we will do, someone also had a question, how to find my top 5 customers. How to find my top 5 customers? One is using a filter option. The other one is going to be using a set option. I'm going to show it to you using a set option how to do that, friends. Okay. So this is the visual set what we saw. Okay. And now I want my top 5 customers. So how do you think I can do that? Get my top 5 customers. So basically I'm going to take my customer name. I want to know my top 5 customers, who are my top performing customers. So what I will do, I'll take my customer names and drop it in my column. So based on the profit what they had given me, I wanted my top 5 customers and profit on my rows. So here I'm able to see like all my customers names are coming here. So here I wanted these 5 customers, this Tamara Chand, Raymond Butch, Sanjit Chand and Hunter Lopez. I wanted these people alone to be listed in my thing. I don't want others to be seen in my list. Okay. So 2 ways to do that. Either I can manually control click here and select my top 5 persons here and create a set. So this is what we do it manually in a visual set. But I want this set to be more dynamic. I don't want it. So for now, maybe I want to see top 5. Next, I will be seeing top 10. Like that, I will be parameterizing that. So I don't want to make use of my visual set in this example. I'll show you how to do this, friends. So sets can only be created by dimensions, for dimensions only. Sets can be created only for dimensions. You please make a note. So what I'm doing, I'm going to right clicking on this customer name and go to create and create something called sets. So always remember, friends, sets are more powerful than grouping. So in terms, you can have custom things done in set, but the same thing may not be possible in groups. And they are also like advanced filters. It's very similar to advanced filters. Okay. Top 5 customers. Friends, you make sure that you are all ready with your Tableau. I have an exercise for you. So you need to do this parallelly with me. So I have some exercise for you. So please open your Tableau and keep it ready. So I want my top 5 customers, friends. How do you think I can get my top 5 customers? There is something called top which is available here, which is very similar to filters. So for now, I wanted my top 5 customers based on my profit. As you can see that this is advanced filters. It's looking very similar to a filters window there. Okay. So I'm entering 5 here, and in profit I'm saying sum of profit top 5 customers you take, and I'm going to click on OK here. And as you can see, my top 5 customers set has been created now. Okay. Now I wanted to see those top 5 customers, so I'm dragging this, dropping it inside my filters. So these are the top 5 customers according to profit whom I wanted to see here, friends. So these are like the top 5 customers whom I'm seeing there. Maybe I can just put a segment wise on colors to determine like which customer belong to which segment. So what product? So consumer segment and corporate. So corporate is this person alone and the remaining are consumer segment. So this is for my top 5 customers, friends. You got this right? Now I want you to create the same set for my bottom 5 customers. Can you create a set for my bottom 5 customers? Friends, please quickly do that because we are running short of time, like around 8 minutes only we have. So I don't want to extend it further and get it delayed for you. So please do create a set for bottom 5 customers and let me know once you are done. I'm giving you 3 minutes time. Okay, Jayashree and Gautam are done. How about others? Okay, Sagar is done, Lopita is done. How about Kanya, Samir, Salim? Shweta is done, Samir is done. So who is left? Prajakti, done but not showing. Okay, for Prajakti it is done, but it's not showing it seems. Okay, just a moment Prajakti, I can just show that to you once again. If you have missed something, you just let me know or try recreating or else I'll come and I'll show it to you. So Sam is done. Okay. Okay friends. So this is how to create a bottom 5 customers. So I'm going to right click on my customer name and click on create set. I'm going to name this set as bottom 5 customers. I'm going to go to this top keyword. I'm just going to say it is going to be by field. One change I'll be doing is my bottom. I'll be selecting my bottom and I'll be entering the value as 5 here. And I'll click on OK friends. So after I have created it, I'll remove this top 5 from here and I will take this bottom 5 and drop it on my filters. So these are my bottom 5 customers who have done say my negative profit. Based on the negative profit they have done this. It is basically on a descending order. Okay. So Prajakti, I want to see your screen. If you are not getting this still the same, I'm just making you as a presenter for now. You can show me your screen. I just made you as a presenter, Prajakti. You can just have a look. Create set. You are creating a set, okay? By field you are doing bottom, yeah. Set 3 you have bottom, okay? Take this set, drop it there. So this is the bottom 5 customers you are getting. You are getting it, right? So the previous thing, I think you should have kept the top 5, bottom 5 in the same filter, and that's why it was not appearing, I believe.
Could be, yes.
So when you have removed the filter and when you have re-added it, I think it should work now.
Right.
Thank you, Prajakti, and taking back the presenter, right? Okay, friends. So I think we are almost like everyone got this visual. So now I have one question for you, friends. Yeah, it's basically on the color scheme. Maybe the data what we have selected might not be the same data, Shantini. So that's why you are saying the different color scheme. But we do not worry about the color scheme here. It's mostly about this part only. So now a quick question to you, friends. I want to see both my customers and bottom 5 customers in a single view, friends. So for that, what I'm doing, I'm taking my top 5 and dropping it in here, and after I do that, I'm able to see, not able to see anything. I'm not able to see anything. Okay, I'm sorry, I think I haven't shared my screen. One moment. So after I just connected with Prajakti, I forgot to share my screen. 1 minute. Yeah. Now you should be able to see my screen. So here, friends, I'm taking my top 5 customers, dragging them, dropping them on my filter shelf, friends. So because I wanted to see both my top 5 and bottom 5 together in a single screen, after I'm doing that, I'm not able to get anything there. So why do you think that this is happening, friends, for me? Why these things are getting removed from the view? Yes, I need to combine. My requirement is to see my top 5 sales and bottom 5 sales. I need to combine this, and I need to have a single view for that. So, however, I'm not able to see that. Why? So, why do you think it is happening, friends? Okay. Shweta is saying we need to perform union. So Gautam and Samir is saying there is no common items present there, so that's why the set is coming empty. And Shantini is saying we should use dashboards. Okay. Yeah, friends, the correct answer is given by Samir and Gautam. There is no common fields between these two sets. So, the picture what I showed you sometime before, friends, that is the first picture here. In this, what we are doing, we are combining these two sets and we are seeing for intersection between the common items between these two sets. So set A, I'm having some items, set B, I'm having some items. When I'm saying I need to see both together, so I'm not going to combine these sets. Yeah, either I need to combine these sets or I need to see the common items between these sets. So when I'm using a filter, by default, these common items are not coming there. Friends, are you not able to see my screen? One moment. Sagar, you can let me know if you are able to see my screen now. Can you see my screen, friends? Everyone? The presentation, what I am sharing, are you all able to see that? Okay. Okay, friends. So this is what is happening here. So in order to do that, we need to create something called combined sets. So combined sets can be created only if both the sets belong to same dimension. So if I'm creating one set from customer name, the another set, if I'm creating for product name, I cannot combine those two. So here the problem is because we are trying to see the match between both the sets, top 5, bottom 5. We are going to determine the matching records among these two, but there are no matching records at all. So that's why we are getting an empty display there. Okay, so in order to do that, I'll finish it with this topic, friends. Sorry for the delay here. So I'll right click here, and when I'm right clicking here on highly profitable, I'll not get this create a combined set. I'll just get edit set only, because highly profitable is only one set which is created from a different dimension. But this customers, when I'm clicking bottom 5 customers, I'm getting an option of create combined set. So this will come only when you are having a matching set created for the same dimension. Then only this combined set will come. Okay, so I'm clicking on this create combined set, and now if you see what our information is, top 5 and bottom 5. So here I'm saying what sets you need to combine. I'm saying you combine my top 5 customers, and so what are the sets that I need to combine here? This is the bottom 5, this is the default set, and I need to combine my top 5 customers here. So here it is showing me something very similar to this inner join. So I need to perform union between both, or intersection between both, or what I need to do here, friends. What I need to perform here, do I need to perform a union or intersection? Do I need to combine the data, or do I need to see the common data? Yes, exactly. Intersection will empty my set. Union will basically combine the data. So I need to do a combination here. So I'm going to select union here, which is all members in both the sets. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to click on OK, friends. So now when I'm taking my combined set and dropping it in my filters, so now I'm taking my combined set, dropping it in my filters. Can you see now? I'm able to get both the items which are in top 5, the items which are in bottom 5. I'm able to get both these items put together in a single view. So this is going to be the advantage of sets, what we are saying. Are you all getting me, friends? Any questions? Okay, so I'm just stopping the presentation with this, friends. So it has been extended quite a while because we have to discuss certain things in detail today. So it was like an extended session there. Okay, I'm sorry for others who I had to take 5-7 minutes of your sleep time extra. I'm sorry for that from other locations, and I'm stopping it with this, friends. We have covered this concept called sets. We have seen how to do it visually, how to do it manually, how to create combined sets. We have seen these three things. So we'll see an example question tomorrow, which will be an application of the same set. So I'll ask you to do that tomorrow. Thank you all for your time, and you all have a great day there. See you, friends. Bye-bye. Thank you, Jayashree. Thank you, Samir. Thank you, Hasini. Have a great day there. Thank you, Sagar. Thank you, Shantani. Have a great day. Thank you, Lopita. See you, Shweta. Have a great day there. Bye. Okay, friends. See you all. Rest. See you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.